It began with a scratch, not on my arm, or a window, or even on my car, but on the old wooden gate at the end of our street, a single, narrow mark, no longer than a finger, curving like a question mark. The strange thing was, I'd walk past that gate every day of my life, and I knew every knot, every crack. That scratch wasn't there yesterday. I asked Mrs. Halloway, the neighbour who lived closest to the gate. "Oh, that thing," she said, squinting. "That's always been there." But when I asked her again the next morning, she looked me straight in the eye and said, "What gate?" That was when I started keeping notes. I first saw her on a rainy afternoon. She stood at the gate, hands in her pockets, staring at the scratch like it meant something. When I called out to her, she turned and smiled. "You're late," she said. "I don't know you," I replied. She tilted her head. "Not yet." Then she walked away, leaving tiny wet footprints behind, but only 5. The 6th was missing. I counted 3 times. It arrived on my doorstep wrapped in brown paper. No note, no return address. Inside, a leather-bound book with yellowed pages, each one blank, except page 47. In shaky handwriting, it read, "She comes when the gate remembers. The door opens at the 7th mark. Do not be late." I checked the gate again that night. Now it had 2 scratches. By the end of the week, the gate had 3 marks, all curved, all evenly spaced. They glowed faintly in the dark, only for a second, like a blink. I waited, crouched in the hedges, from dusk till dawn, hoping to see what made them. Nothing came, until the wind whispered something strange. Tick, tick, tock. I couldn't sleep after that. My watch stopped at 3:47 a.m. the next morning. So did the clocks in the house. Every single one. Frozen. I woke to a knock on my bedroom window. Not the front door. The 2nd-story window. Outside was the girl in the green raincoat. She pointed to the street, then disappeared. I ran to the window. No one was there. But down at the end of the lane, I saw it. A 4th mark. He arrived with the fog. Tall, coat buttoned to the neck, eyes hidden behind round mirrored lenses. "You've seen the girl," he said. It wasn't a question. "Who is she?" "She's the reminder," he replied. "And the warning." "For what?" He leaned in close. "For the thing behind the door." Then he handed me something cold and smooth, an old brass key, and walked into the mist, vanishing like smoke. The scratch didn't just appear this time. I watched it form. At midnight, the gate shook. The air felt too thin, like it had been emptied of sound. Then something invisible scraped the wood, slow and deep. Scratch, number 5. I didn't sleep that night either. The next morning, my parents were gone. No note, no message, just silence and cold toast on the table. The phone didn't work. Neither did the internet. But the hallway whispered as I passed, "She's waiting." By the 6th, it happened just before dawn. A thunderclap split the sky with no rain, no lightning. I ran to the gate barefoot, not even feeling the gravel, and there it was, the 6th scratch. This one was longer, deeper. It bled, not blood, but something black and slow, like ink that refused to dry. The air buzzed, like 100 bees in my ears. I turned and saw her again, the girl in the green raincoat. She was standing in the middle of the street, staring at me with wide, unblinking eyes. "There's only one left," she said, "and it has to come from you." She dropped something by my feet, a small carving knife, rusted, ancient. Then she vanished again. I found the note in the bathroom mirror. Not on it. In it. The words were written backwards, like someone had scrawled them from the other side of the glass. The door opens tonight. The key chooses the brave, but not everyone walks back. The moment I read it, the mirror cracked. Exactly 7 lines. I stood at the gate just before midnight, the knife in one hand, the brass key in the other. The girl appeared again, silent this time, her face pale, eyes dim. She didn't smile. I didn't speak. I pressed the blade against my palm, a thin line of red. I drew the last mark, the 7th. The gate groaned, then slowly opened, on its own. Beyond it wasn't the woods, or the back road, or anything that had ever been there before. It was a hallway, endless, flickering lights, dripping sounds, and at the very end, a door made of stone. I stepped through. I approached the door. It breathed in and out like lungs made of rock and shadow. Carved into its surface were 7 names, 6 of them scratched out. The 7th, mine. The girl appeared beside me. "This is where the forgotten go," she whispered. "This is where stories hide." "What's behind the door?" I asked. Her eyes glistened. "No one remembers unless they come back." I held up the key. It pulsed with warmth. Then the stone door creaked open, and I stepped inside. It wasn't darkness behind the door. Not exactly. It was light, but twisted, like it had been forgotten how to shine properly. A vast room opened before me, lined with bookshelves taller than houses. They swayed gently, though there was no wind. Each book hummed. Some were chained shut, others whispered as I passed. One hovered mid-air, its pages flipping on their own. On the far wall, carved in silver, "Here lie the truths too strange to remember, and the lies too dangerous to forget." The girl in the green raincoat stood at the first aisle. "This is what the gate protects," she said softly. "A library of everything that never should have existed, but does." She led me to a single shelf. There was a gap between the books. From her coat pocket, she pulled one last volume, dusty, heavy, no title. She placed it in the empty space. Then I saw it, etched into the spine. My name. "What is this?" I asked. Voice, barely a whisper. "Your part in the story," she replied. "The reason you were chosen. Every person who sees the marks is a keeper of a secret too big for the world outside." I opened the book. The pages were blank, except the last one. It read, "And then they chose to remember." I looked up. The girl was gone. So was the key. So was the door. I woke up at the edge of the lane. Morning birds chirped. Wind blew soft. The gate stood where it always had. Quiet, clean, unmarked. No scratches, no knife, no girl. But I knew, and every time I pass it now, I hear the faint creak of a stone door, far away, and I wonder, who will be the next to see the first mark?